We're here with another episode of Before You Buy. It's been a busy week for game releases, but this is the show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. And today we're talking about Crackdown 3. Hoo boy, where to begin with this one? This is the return of an Xbox franchise that was revealed years ago, teased for so long, delayed for quite a bit, and anticipated a lot. Especially for me, the original Crackdown is a total early 360 era action classic, one I hold very near and dear to my heart. There's a lot resting on this game, it seems, for some folks, and I'm honestly not sure the game was ever intended to hold the weight on its shoulders in the first place. Now, I've had my hands on a review copy for some time now, and I gotta say, this is a 2-act play. Single-player Crackdown 3 is entirely separate from the multiplayer mode that is also included that is launched in a separate app. And basically, I think one part of the game is good, and one part is not so good. Basically, Crackdown 3's single-player is exactly what I wanted. The multiplayer, not so hot. I'll get to that. Single player. I do feel like a lot of people aren't going to be into this. I might be in the minority here. It feels like a direct pickup of Crackdown. It plays incredibly similar. The vibe is the same, the voiceovers are just as corny, the villains are kind of generic, the world is a little bland in spots, and the story is bare bones. But it's so much damn fun. The gameplay is good. Is it simple? Yeah. Is it a decent game to turn your brain off and just go nuts in a virtual playground as a superhero cop guy? Yeah. Very much. Oh, and just as a heads up before I get deeper into it, the gameplay I captured here is running on the PC version. Basically, the premise for Crackdown is an open world sandbox. You're tasked with taking down another criminal empire in a big old city filled with districts controlled by lower level leadership. From there, you systematically take down lieutenants and captains and work your way up to the big bad guy. You're doing this all while progressively getting better and stronger as you go by doing more. Punch lots of dudes and you will get stronger, eventually, slowly becoming a big muscle man who can lift cars and take and dish lots of damage. Run over enemies in cars, compete in time trial races, and do cool stunts to get experience orbs that upgrade your driving, eventually unlocking new vehicle modes to mess around with. Same goes for shooting, using explosives, and most importantly, agility. You run, jump, and climb from rooftop to rooftop, exploring the city, and collecting these green glowing orbs to slowly be able to move faster and jump way higher. By the end of the game, you just go from skinny guy to giant beastly Superman, and it's just as rewarding and fulfilling to play as ever. There's something to be said about grinding and seeing your progress physically manifest in front of you as you gradually just look cooler and get more abilities. More weapon types and a cool ground pound definitely shakes up the formula a bit, and the same goes for the vehicles. I'm really bummed to see they don't just transform to your levels like they used to, but now you can unlock and swap on the fly between like a race car, an all-terrain vehicle, and a tank. The problem is, they just don't control very well at all. I'd rather be jumping on rooftops. The car can get thrown off track by even the smallest of things. It's really squirrely. The all-terrain vehicle is so floaty and goofy, it's almost useless. It is cool to drive up buildings and stuff, like with gravity wheels. It's definitely a big change for the game, but it's usually just more awkward than it's worth. Having a tank is definitely awesome though, especially against bigger enemy types. There are different factions throughout the city, each with their own set of vehicles, weapon types, attacks, and just enemy sizes. Some of my favorite moments in the game were when you're fighting big construction mechs, like you're air dashing around them, blasting them with a rocket launcher and ground pounding and causing explosions, all while a million other dudes are shooting at you. This stuff and boss battles are where the action is turned up even crazier, and it's so much fun. Plus, you can do the campaign via online co-op with a friend, which is pretty damn good, and you can choose if you want to start a new world or load into your current single-player world state. I really appreciate that choice. The game can be absolutely crazy, and I think it's great for that. Like I said earlier, it's mindless, turn-off-your-brain fun. You can choose between a variety of skins, and you can unlock more by finding special orbs in the world, but how could you not play as Terry Crews? They threw a lot of stuff in this world. The boss battles, variety types, and enemies feel really generous, and kept me happily grinding orbs and shooting dudes for a long-ass time. Graphically, it doesn't look too amazing, but the neon everywhere definitely is cool on a good monitor or TV. The world can be kind of bland and empty the deeper you go into it, but some of it is built like a playground, and it's been relatively smooth through all the chaos too, which is really good. But again, mostly I played on PC, so the frame rate is obviously going to be better. The game does feel a little simple, like I said, a little more old school. It still kind of feels like a 360 era game, just with some better tech behind it. Full transparency, I'm a big fan of the original, like I said, so I definitely have a different perspective and a higher tolerance. Will the game win new fans? Or maybe they'll just be sort of underwhelmed? I'm not so sure. Could it be fresher? Yeah. Could it have more new stuff? Yeah. But for me, I got what I wanted and I'm having fun. The multiplayer, on the other hand, not so much. It feels like this is where things went wrong in development. The game was delayed a lot, and just speculation on my part, I don't know. Basically, the multiplayer is underwhelming. First of all, it launches as a separate application on PC and Xbox, like I said, so you might be jumping into it thinking you're diving into this full-featured multiplayer suite that needs a whole standalone thing, but you're not. The Crackdown 3 multiplayer Wrecking Zone consists of 2 modes, a kill confirm style deathmatch and a moving territories capture mode. Both are teams of 5-on-5. You pick your skin from a few different agents, adjust your loadout and one charged ability, and that's it. There's no progression, no ranking, no real control over matchmaking. That's it. Not only that, you can't matchmake with friend groups. That's a huge omission. One, to be fair, Xbox did say is coming soon in an update along with just other stuff. But still, the fact that it's shipping this way says a lot about the multiplayer. It all just feels like a demo because there's so little on offer. I think the ability to level up and get stronger and vehicles and all that in the Crackdown world had so much potential for cool multiplayer stuff, but they went for a simple red versus blue team deathmatch approach with a gimmick of destructible environments. And the problem is, the whole emphasis on the destructible environments, it doesn't provide much strategic use or do much at all. It's really cool to, charge bash through a wall. I like that all the agents start completely overpowered right from the start, but you're also so agile that, someone blowing away the ground beneath you doesn't really mean much for you losing your footing because you have so much boosting and double jumping. A lot of the debris and stuff just kind of flops around like styrofoam, and it's not that big of a deal. The destroyed environments look impressive, but you just don't feel much behind it because, like I said, it doesn't matter much to gameplay. Destruction just felt more weighted in the likes of games like Red Faction Guerrilla. It's just on a bigger scale here. It's just a one-trick pony. Lock on, shoot your target, that's it. Weird for multiplayer. I think there's potential for more. I thought there was from the beginning, but as of right now, I'm just disappointed. They can flesh it out with modes, and it sorely needs some sort of progression. But again, this feels like a demo. Thankfully, I sure as hell didn't come to Crackdown for the competitive multiplayer. I came for the campaign and the co-op, and at least that's really fun. But again, this is a before you buy. I gave you some pros, some cons, and some personal opinion, a lot here. So now I definitely want to hear yours down in the comments. This video is of course dropping a little bit before the game releases, but I want to know your hopes, dreams, expectations, if you have any at all, your memories with the previous Crackdown games, anything. Let's talk about Crackdown down in the comments. Of course, as always though, if you got any other questions for me, be sure to hit me up on Twitter @JakeBaldino. And if you learned something, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. We really appreciate it. And if you're new, it's worth subscribing and hitting that notification bell because we put out videos every single day, dude. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Found the agent. Send in the hit squad. Tactical engagement is over.